Putting up bulletin boards can be a lot of fun, but they can also take a lot of work. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 secrets that will help you put your bulletin boards up faster. If you're new here, I'm Rachel Vincent, and I share tips on running effective and efficient classrooms so that you can get more done and still have time to teach. So probably one of the things that takes the most time when putting up bulletin boards in your classroom is the trial and error. You have this idea in your mind and then you go to try and do it and it doesn't quite turn out the way you want it. So then you take it down and try again. Maybe you don't have all of the materials you need to put the bulletin board up and it just takes some time. So the easiest way to avoid that is to actually design your bulletin boards before you go to put them up. I like to create them in PowerPoint and just create a black square, because I usually do black backgrounds, but whatever color background you want. Then to create the border, I just simply search online for an image of the border that I want to use, and I copy it into PowerPoint, and then I just crop it and remove the background so that I can sort of place the border around my black shape. After I do that, that is when I sort of play around with what kind of title, what kind of spacing, what exactly am I putting on this bulletin board to get an idea so that when it's time to put it up in the classroom, I sort of have an idea of what I want to do. The next tip to make putting up bulletin boards faster is to prep ahead of time. Print, laminate, cut out all of your decorations, your words, everything you're going to want to use, have it ready to go so that you can put it up as soon as you get to the classroom. The third tip when hanging bulletin boards is to use painter's tape. One of the hardest parts of putting up a bulletin board is making sure your letters are spaced and correctly put onto the board the way you want it. So the easiest way to do that is to lay it out on a table, line it up, make it nice and straight and spaced, put a piece of painter's tape across all of them, and then take all of them up to your bulletin board and use the tape to hold it there so that you can step back, make sure it looks the way you want before you staple. If it is an actual bulletin board and not on a wall or door, you can actually use push pins to hold pieces into place while you step back and look to make sure it is spaced and where you want it. Simply just move it around until you get it to your exact location before you staple down. Use double-sided tape. One of the things that I like to do to make my boards look a little bit larger is to actually cover up the outline of the board. So obviously you cannot staple into that area, so I just use double-sided tape to attach my borders to the metal or the wood outline of the bulletin board. A couple bonus tips to make your bulletin boards stand out and have just that wow visual effect is to use fabric or material like better than paper. Both of these materials are stronger, will last longer. The holes that show up when you staple aren't there when you use fabric or the better than paper, and it's easier to change things out, and it doesn't begin to sort of wear and tear like regular bulletin board paper would. The next things that really just make a bulletin board pop is to double your borders. Doubling your borders just adds that extra wow factor. Like I said, I like to go to the very edge using that double-sided tape, and then I use another border to cover up the area where my fabric didn't quite reach the edge, and then I have more space to hang my letters and my design. One of the things I also like to do, since I use black fabric on my bulletin boards, is to color my staples black so that when I staple into the fabric, you don't get that little silver. It actually starts to blend in and looks seamless. That just really makes your bulletin boards pop is to create your own letters. I typically create all of mine into PowerPoint, and I put 1 letter per page, and that typically always makes the perfect title for any type of bulletin board. I can use my own fonts, I can print on any color paper, I even print on black with just a black outline, and it saves me on ink. It is just a really effective way to make your bulletin boards look the way you want them to. Want even more ways to set up your classroom faster? Well, check out the video that's on your screen now, where I will show you how to take your classroom from a hot mess to first day ready. I'll see you over there.